You are Locked On Red Sox POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Boston. On the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, a 4-0 lead, and you were feeling good until you weren't. Red Sox bullpen could not hold on to a 4-0 lead Friday night in the Bronx. Zack Kelly, Booser giving it up. Yankees, a 5-run seventh inning. That 5-run frame against the Red Sox bullpen capped off by a grand slam by, yeah, you guessed it. It wasn't Verdugo. It wasn't Soto. That would have hurt even more. That would have been putting lemon juice or salt into a wound. No, it's by Aaron Judge. And then the Yankees bullpen shuts down the Red Sox the rest of the way. 14 to go, and right now, the Red Sox are a 500 ball club. We do welcome you to our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer. MLB on ESPN Radio, college baseball on the ESPN networks, Longhorn Network, ACC Network, SEC Network. 10 years in the minors, national show host for ESPN Radio and satellite radio, and a guy with a dangerous amount of useless baseball information. We are providing reaction to every Red Sox game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which you know is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. So Wednesday night, Tyler O'Neill hits a walk-off home run, a 3-run shot against the Orioles. I asked you what your celebration was. Friday night in the Bronx, 7th inning, 4-0 lead. You're into it at this point in time. You want to see the Red Sox bullpen hold on over the final 3 innings. You knew it was going to be hard. What did you do when Aaron Judge hit that grand slam to put the Yankees up by a run? Want to hear from you. Click on the comment button if you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. If you listen to the podcast later or Saturday, hit me up on the X at Lennox on Baseball. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers as well. We'll discuss Tanner Houck being scratched, Richard Fitz pitching well, 2 run home runs, including the first of the season by Trevor Story. Those are the positives. 7th inning, the bullpen. Those weren't the positives for the Red Sox on Friday night. Our latest episode of the Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB to use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB to win $50 instantly when you play $5. So, Tanner Houck, scratched, I'll say, within 90 minutes of first pitch Friday night in the Bronx. Richard Fitz, you're up. And early on, it didn't look like Richard Fitz was going to make it past 2 innings or 3 innings. Instead, he goes 5 scoreless. Yoshida, home run, top of the 6th inning. Fitz, for his second straight big league start, leaves the game with a lead, and for his second straight big league start, takes a no decision. Trevor Story, first home run of the season. 4-0 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Zack Kelly, Slayton. Hey, the bullpen yet again gassed, right? And I left Thursday night saying Houck, Fitz, maybe Kenley Jansen for a 3rd straight game, maybe Chris Martin. And that's all you wanted to see. Well, Houck scratched, and I don't know that we're going to see Tanner Houck again this season. We'll touch on that in our second segment. But Fitz, 50 pitches through the first 2 innings and gave up 3 walks. We'll touch on Richard Fitz coming up in our second segment. Deserve better. Deserve the win. 4-0. Bullpen couldn't do it. Red Sox have now lost 7 straight games away from Fenway. Remember when they were one of the best teams on the road? That was only a few weeks ago. Not the case now. 7 straight losses. Remember, 1 in extra innings a couple of Fridays ago against the Tigers in Detroit. Lost the next 2. Went to Citi Field. Not in the Bronx, but in Queens. Lost 3 straight and never led in their series last week against the Mets. Now have dropped 2 in a row against the Yankees. I don't want to talk split. I want to talk about a team that's going to finish above 500 at this point in time. Because Zack Kelly, you know what I want to see? 1 bad inning, yeah, 5 runs across. But Zack Kelly did nobody any favors in that 7th inning. 5 runs coming to score. Kelly walks the first 2, gives up an RBI single to Torres. Booser, a walk to Soto, loads him up. Booser on a 2-0 pitch came in and Hey, for the first time in 17 games, Aaron Judge has hit a home run. Yeah, grand slam. One swing of the bat. 4-1 ball game, turning into a 5-4 deficit. That turned out to be the final score. And, yeah, you could have thought, wow, the Red Sox get a run in the 8th inning. They tie it up. It's only a 1-run ball game. No, that felt like it was 10-4. It really did. It felt like the Yankees were up 6-4, and Judge, with one swing of the bat, just put the cherry on top of the sundae for Yankee fans. Didn't like seeing it. Really didn't. You know what I want to see? I don't give up on Zack Kelly, but I don't know that I want to see Zack Kelly pitch in the big leagues again this season. I want to see Quinn Priester in the big leagues. Richard Fitz has shown that he can pitch in the big leagues. I don't care if Fitz goes to the bullpen the rest of the way or not. Bring Priester up. Let him pitch. You're a 500 team with 14 games to go. You need an awful lot to happen. And nobody right now, nobody can think positively that the Red Sox are going to go past the Tigers and catch the Twins in the next 16 days. You can't think that right now. It's just not realistic. Let's get right to the comments section. Andrew the Goat's checking in. So is DJ. Show is shooting smoke. Alex Cora and his terrible bullpen management has to be studied. If you're going to talk bullpen management, you have to talk about starting pitchers being able to go more than 5 or 6 innings. How many times have we seen, well, we thought he could go one more inning. He was at 87 pitches. And that's how you tax a bullpen. Your starters have to be able to go 6. They have to. What's an ace anymore? An ace should be a guy who can work into the 8th inning every once in a while. Crawford has done it this year. Bayo has done it, but they don't do it 2 out of every 5 starts. I mean, that would be great at this point in time. Houck, again, I don't know that we see him again this year. Shoulder fatigue, was ready to go, and then he wasn't. So here's a positive for you. Ready? True confession. I think I'm like a lot of people. Andrew the Goat, DJ, shooting smoke. Question to you: did you watch the game on Friday night? Because I don't have Apple TV. That's my silver lining. I didn't watch the game. Well, what did you do? How did you pay attention to the game? I listened to it on the radio. Well, I listened to it on my phone, Sirius XM, but WEEI in Boston. I'm also going to touch on that as well. Will Fleming, Joe Castiglione, they do a terrific job. But right now, smile on my face, I didn't have to watch Aaron Judge swing the bat in that 7th inning. You kind of know it was coming. The 2 walks, you're playing with fire. Fitz worked out of a bases loaded jam of his own doing in the 1st inning. Andrew the Goat cannot stand Alex Cora. Andrew the Goat, if you've ever heard me talk and do the intro to the show, I've got a little open where I introduce myself. Proud to say that Alex Cora was a broadcast partner of mine. Senior League World Series, ESPN Networks back in 2016 in Bangor, Maine. The only time we've ever crossed paths. I think Alex Cora is a terrific manager. You want to talk about bullpen management this year? You want to talk about the pitching? I do agree. It's got to be better next year. You got to map out a plan. Hey, our starters have to be able to go 6 innings. Next year, if you're at 86 pitches, we're going to expect to extend you 1 more inning. How many times in the last, since really July 1st, you probably go back even further. But how many times could a starter have gone 1 more inning? Don't get into the bullpen so early. So when you talk bullpen management, it goes hand in hand. How many times have we seen where starters, again, 85, 90 pitches, that 100-pitch mark is the magic number. Yes, some of these guys have thrown more innings than they've ever had in their pro careers. Richard Fitz, you know what? You got 5 out of him, and he might have given up a run in the 6th inning. Did he deserve another inning? Sure, why not? Because Fitz really settled in nicely, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. But I want to see Priester up. I really do. We got a lot of mentions here. DJ, you could feel that grand slam was going to happen. Absolutely. You just didn't think he was going to groove a 2-0 pitch the way he did, but he did. And for the first time in 17 games, Aaron Judge with a grand slam. Grand slam's part of our numbers of the night, if I can get that far. Touchdown, DJ, touchdown. Fitz, deserving of a victory. He should be 2-0 in the big leagues. At home against the White Sox, no decision. On the road against the Yankees, when you don't know that you're going to start until, we'll say, 90 minutes before first pitch. Some were saying on the X it was inside of an hour. Some were saying it was around 5 o'clock that they knew. So I'll say 90 minutes. He was able to prepare, and he probably was told, hey, you're going to pitch out of the bullpen tonight. So he just had to adjust. Shaky first inning, did a nice job. Shooting smoke, I want Kelly off the team. I don't want to see Zack Kelly again this year. I will never call for somebody's job. Maybe Zack Kelly next year. He's had moments. He really has. Overused. Maybe you can say that. I think that's kind of lazy. Your number's called out of the bullpen. Get the job done. You walk 2 straight batters to open up an inning against the Yankees in the bottom of their lineup. And Will Fleming, not a Nesson reference tonight, thank you, Apple TV, but a WEEI reference with Will Fleming and Joe Castiglione. They touched on it. How many times have you seen bullpen guys walk guys at the bottom of the lineup? And then all of a sudden, I go back to the Kansas City series. It felt like Bobby Witt Jr. was at the plate in big situations at least 2 times from the 5th inning on. But when you've got Soto and Judge there, 2-3 in the Yankee lineup, you can't. I mean, Anthony Rizzo, if Rizzo would hit a home run, if Volpe hits a home run down in the bottom of the Yankees order, if Verdugo hits a home run, you don't like it. But, boy, you don't put runners on base in front of Soto and Judge. You don't. So when your number is called from the bullpen, get the job done. Andrew the GOAT did watch the game, and he was really mad. Andrew the GOAT, Red Sox give up on the season. You don't give up because in this situation, you NBA, NFL, and you're already talking about NFL teams tanking before week 2. On Sunday, week 2 got underway on Thursday night. You're not tanking for a draft pick. You're pretty much going to be where you're at, within a couple of moves. You're not moving up into that top 5. I don't think. I know it's different nowadays, but really, you're playing for pride now for the next, 14 games in 16 days. Finish above 500. Finish with 84 wins. That's going to take some doing. But you have a 4-0 lead and you blow it with the bullpen. As we've said all season long, absolutely unacceptable. Richard Fitz, no Tanner. We'll touch on that. And I already alluded to listening to the game on the radio, or on my phone at least, not on the transistor radio or the Walkman like I did as a kid, but a real treat Friday night. And listening to Will and Joe. And they brought the Yankee broadcasters over as well. I really enjoyed that, and I'm going to get into that coming up next. Sox have dropped the first 2 in the Bronx in this series against the Yankees. Brutal is the word that comes to mind right now. Locked On Red Sox postcast, Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day, presented by Tonal. Even the most dedicated gym goers struggle with consistency. The commute, waiting for weights, other people sweat. It makes skipping a workout very tempting. With Tonal, you can choose from thousands of workouts and train in a way you actually enjoy, and you can do it at home. Tonal is the world's smartest and most effective strength training system that helps you get stronger, powered by AI. Tonal learns with every step so it can deliver workouts personalized just for you as the individual. Tonal learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move with detailed progress reports. They even create personalized programs and workout suggestions or recommendations based on your individual goals. Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal does use adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques. From professional athletes to the mom of 3, Tonal is trusted by thousands who have become their strongest. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Tonal.com. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com. Promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off. Again, that is Tonal.com. So the Red Sox lose on Friday night, and just like Thursday, golden opportunity to win. The Red Sox have now lost 7 straight games on the road. They've lost 5 in a row in New York. Swept by the Mets last week at Citi Field, losing the first 2 in the Bronx against the Yankees in this 4-game series, and a 500 club with 14 games to go. Red Sox are now 500 for the 20th time this season. They've lost 4 straight to the Yankees. 2 to go in the season series against the Bombers. And now a game under 500 against the Yankees as well. 5-6 through the first 11 between the two teams. And, hey, I'm not scoreboard watching tonight. You want a scoreboard watch? You want to drop me a comment on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel as to what other teams are doing? I know the Tigers were no-hitting and lost a no-hitter late against the Orioles, but managed to hold on for the victory. Good for the Tigers. And the Red Sox can look at the Tigers right now and say, that could have been us. And even before the Tigers took 2 out of 3 at Comerica a couple of weekends ago against the Red Sox, they've been playing winning baseball for quite a while. They really have. So you want a scoreboard watch, go right ahead. We do have the comments. Shooting smoke. I was in a blackout on MLB.TV, so I listened to it on YouTube. Yankees only have 2 real threats, and walks gave them the big moment. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's exactly, even if Kelly had given up a solo home run to one of the first batters that he faced, make him earn it. Walks? Are you kidding me? No. No. Absolutely not. Tanner Houck. I don't know that we see Tanner Houck again this season. He may very well be shut down. So with that opportunity, bring Quinn Priester up. Straight up, Kelly for Priester. He goes down to AAA if you want to do that move. Something. Booser, send him out. Will Fleming and Joe Castiglione talked about, I mean, there are guys in this bullpen who could be part of the future. But right now, 514 to go. Said it was some of the position guys that haven't produced. You're pitching for next year. Do you really want Alex Cora, Andrew Bailey, Craig Breslow in the front office to have a sour taste in their mouth over your performance down the stretch? It's already happened. It's going to be hard to get that sour taste out. They're not going to forget. But these guys are pitching for their big league lives to a certain degree, at least in Boston. But Tanner Houck pushed back initially. Hadn't made a start since Red Sox were in New York last week against the Mets. Pushed back, wasn't responding well at the beginning. Credited the Red Sox athletic training staff for getting him ready. Was TBA. Then all of a sudden, you see he's going to make the start. It was in the game notes. It was on ESPN.com. Tanner Houck starts against Clark Schmidt. That didn't happen. Richard Fitz, again, a rough first inning, but he showed what I will call moxie. He absolutely did. And where is Garcia? Slayton, scoreless 6th inning, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts through 15 pitches. Luis Guerrero got the 8th inning and struck out 2. And he was up. I don't know if it was Will Fleming or Joe Castiglione, but Guerrero was up. Instead, you go to Zack Kelly. Give Guerrero that 7th inning. That's the inning right there. And at that point, if you got through the 7th and 8th, even if you'd given up a couple of base runners and maybe a run or 2, now it's a 4-1 or 4-2 ball game, you could have possibly have gotten past Soto and Judge for the 9th inning. Give Guerrero a shot. 4-0's not a high leverage situation. It becomes a high leverage situation for Zack Kelly and the guys behind him when he walks the first 2 batters of the inning and then gives up an RBI single. So Zack Kelly, shut him down for he's not going to pitch again in this series. You may not want to see him in the Rays series coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. But Fitz, 2 outings, one against the White Sox. Okay, not a great lineup. But against the Yankees, he got the job done. Absolutely got the job done. And think what they've done to Richard Fitz here in 2 starts. You had an idea that he was going to pitch last Sunday. You don't have to be the Nationals and announce 4 or 5 days in advance, hey, we're bringing up a prospect. He's going to pitch in 5 days. You gave him no time. Hey, Saturday, you're in Rochester, New York. Get down here. You're pitching against the White Sox on Sunday. I said it on Thursday night. Let Fitz go home Thursday night from the Bronx, back to Manhattan, back to the hotel, knowing he's going to start. Tanner Houck, we think you're going to pitch, but we're going to start Fitz instead. No, Fitz finds out within 2 hours, within 90 minutes, within 60 minutes, hey, you got the start. But if you let Fitz go for as long as he did, and 5 innings, I would have been happy with. Okay, let's see if Tanner Houck can go 4 and close the door. No one on this pitching staff is above doing any job that's asked of them. So if they had said to Tanner Houck, if you can go, you're on the back end. Fitz is going to get the start. Fitz got the start anyway. Then you had to go to the bullpen, and we know what the bullpen did. But Fitz, I said it after last Sunday. He absolutely should not go back down. And just keep him in line. Let him make the next start. Or throw him in the bullpen. Say, hey, we're going to tandem you with somebody. If Houck can pitch again, and right now, you got 14 left. And that third wild card spot is a mile down the road. But if you're going to pitch Houck again, just do him in tandem with Fitz. And go from there. Just checking in on Andrew the Goat, Shooting Smoke, and DJ one more time. All right, I think I'm up to date for the most part. Andrew the Goat believes this loss is on Alex Cora. It's not just on Alex Cora from this night. It's on the Red Sox for the last handful of weeks. But I'm sorry, if your number is called, get the job done. You can't walk the first 2 batters of the inning when you have Juan Soto and Aaron Judge looming. So no Tanner, Fitz, Richard Fitz, he fits right in. A real treat. I liked it. And maybe I should do this more often, but I enjoyed listening to the game. Usually I have it on the Nesson broadcast pretty much 98% of the time. I can't think there's maybe one other time Red Sox this year have been on Apple TV. But anyway, they switched broadcasters for a while, and I enjoyed Susan Waldman, who people in Boston know Susan Waldman. And she told a couple of great stories growing up in Boston and going to the ballpark and Ted Williams and all those different things. Jerry Coleman helping her early on in her sports broadcasting career. And then, they switched around. Will Fleming got up. Joe Castiglione got up. They went over to the Yankee booth. I didn't listen to that side of it. But then they brought a friend. Emmanuel Barberi came over and was in the booth with both Will and Joe at different times. And I really enjoyed that. On a night where I don't have the TV broadcast available, that's something they did. That was a great treat. I really did enjoy that. At bat of the night, we're not sticking around with it too much. I was going to give it to Trevor Story on his first home run of the season. Obviously not. It's the Judge Grand Slam on a 2-0 pitch that Booser, Judge hit it out. I still haven't seen where he hit it. Off the bat, Will Fleming, Joe Castiglione, they knew it was gone. I'll see the highlights or the lowlights later or at some other time. Numbers of the night, and we're going to try to put a positive spin on things for the Red Sox somehow, some way. That in our third segment right here on the Locked On Red Sox postcast. Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day, presented by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, you against the numbers. All you have to do is pick more or less 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends. Become part of Prize Picks community today. Right now, Caleb Williams, 1 passing yard from Caleb Williams, gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic W every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free wins. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it is gone when September ends. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB and get that $50 bonus instantly when you play $5. Again, that's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly with a bonus when you play 5. You do not even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Locked On Red Sox Postcast also brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, you've heard us talk about FanDuel an awful lot. America's #1 sports book. Well, now FanDuel has something a little bit different for you. Listen to this one. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. And if that's not enough, be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app and use it for FanDuel's double your winnings for all Sunday games on September 15th. That's 2 days from now. Pre-game moneyline bets, Profit Boost. It went live on Thursday, live through Sunday. View your account page now. Learn more about your boost. Just visit FanDuel.com. Download America's #1 sportsbook. All right, we're getting into numbers of the night here. I was frustrated enough Sunday, frustrated Thursday with the Red Sox losing, and now at 500 with 14 to go in the season. Hey, can we strike out anymore? I mean, the way, Shooting Smoke, DJ, Andrew the GOAT, one of you mentioned that grand slam, that was predictable. It was. But you know what was also kind of predictable? The Red Sox going down like soft bleeping rain in the 8th and 9th inning. O'Neill, strikeout. Yoshida, single. Wong, strikeout. Abreu, strikeout. 9th inning, 1, 2, 3. Casas, K, Story pop up on the infield, or to Torres at least, and then Rafaela struck out to end the game. More strikeouts for the Red Sox. We've seen plenty of that of lately, haven't we? How many times? Let's see the final number, 12. So you add on that to a big total of strikeouts. 13 strikeouts Monday against the Orioles. 13 strikeouts Tuesday against the Orioles. 10 strikeouts Wednesday night in the 10-inning victory. And 14 Ks on Thursday. And yeah, more strikeouts for the Red Sox hitters on Friday as well. Big cuts. And speaking of that, we're getting into numbers of the night. I've got to make 2 points here, and I've got to get into this. One, numbers of the night. On our Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, this tip of the cap right now is to you. We hit just under 250 views. How long you stayed with us, we're still determining that with the analytics. But if you were with us and we got almost 200, I think we got to 247, that's outstanding, and thank you. When we started this in June, I was told by the fine folks who helped me out with Locked On Sports that the numbers would slowly build. And I was anticipating October and really building the numbers. I'd love to get to 500 views for at least one of our final shows over the next 14 games. October baseball doesn't seem realistic right now. But thank you, because the numbers have continued to build. I think we've missed just one game since we went live with our Locked On Red Sox postcast back in June, when all of a sudden Red Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies at Fenway. Red Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees at Fenway. I'm like, wow. I'm liking this a lot, but I'm loving the fact that our numbers have built up. Locked On Patriots postcast, available Sunday. Locked On Boston College postcast, available Saturday. Locked On Celtics postcast. I'll be part of that when the NBA season gets underway in late October. So again, thank you. Jack Carr. Oh, Jack, I do appreciate you checking in for the first time with us, Jack. But I don't agree. Jack sharing, Cora shouldn't have a job. I don't agree with that, Jack, but I do appreciate checking in, and I hope you come with us for the rest of the ride here in 2024. No matter if it's over on Sunday, September 29th, or the Red Sox somehow miraculously pull this off. I'm an Alex Cora fan. I was ecstatic when the news broke and the Red Sox made it official. They gave up 20 runs. Second series after the All-Star break, they gave up 20 runs in Denver to the Rockies in the series finale, and I thought that was a great day with the extension for Alex Cora. What has Alex Cora done to deserve the job? I think he's a great communicator. I think he's been put in a tough spot this year with a lot of young hitters. He's got a new front office. They're bringing in a new philosophy. Think of how many different front offices and philosophies that he's dealt with. But present day, and I don't know if he gets on them or not in the clubhouse, you can't get on college kids, high school kids, pro ball players the way you did 5-10 years ago. There may not be a guy in the clubhouse like a Papelbon or a Pedroia or a Veritek, even though Veritek is on staff. I think he's a great communicator. I think he knows the game as well as any manager in baseball. I think he is always looking down the road. I don't like the fact that he does play by the book. And we go back to Cooper Criswell in his start against the Tigers when, well, we thought Rich Hill was the move. Rich Hill's not even a part of the team anymore. Criswell should have stayed in that game. Bullpen management this year? No, a lot of the moves have not worked. But this is what I wanted to touch on as well. Tip of the cap, as our numbers continue to build, I love it. And I've been told by our friends at Locked On and the people who help me out, my bosses, that we got to get out in less than 35. Really, we got to be closer to 30. We've already gone over. Lou Merlone does a great thing where he goes on his walk in his neighborhood and he's talking. We've had people here talk about Andrew Bailey should be fired. I don't know. Now they're bringing up Pete Fancy. He should be fired as the hitting coach. I don't know. I think there's a way to do this. Information overload. Ultimately, it comes down to the players. When Alex Cora calls to the bullpen and says, I want Zack Kelly, or I want this guy, or I want this guy, they've got to be able to do the job. Overtaxed, whatever you want to call it. I hope that, Jack, I'll be the first to tell you, I have a bias towards Alex Cora. I do think he's the right manager. But if you're not going to make a move on your coaching staff, and I thought about this maybe in like the 5th or 6th inning, if you're not making a move on your coaching staff during this offseason, somebody probably gets the boot by Memorial Day next year if you're still seeing too many strikeouts, guys not pitching effectively. So if you're going to do it before Memorial Day next year, if they're on a short leash, make a change now. Not going to be Alex Cora. He got an extension. I don't know where the loyalties lie and all of that stuff, but something's going to happen. I mean, remember, people did not like Carlos Feblis, but Lou Merlone was walking and doing a little, I don't know, a short video. I don't know if it was for X or YouTube or whatever. But he basically said, hey, you know, there are people clamoring about Andrew Bailey. Now they're clamoring about Pete Fancy. Ultimately, it's on the hitters. You know what you do first and foremost, in my view? Let the hitters talk to each other rather than just going to the iPad. And I was listening to Sirius XM and the baseball channel the other day. Some CJ Nitkowski was talking about and championing the cause that somebody went back. It might have been Jorge Soler. And CJ's somebody I've worked with in the past, and I completely disagreed with him. He was like, oh, he went to the dugout, slammed down an iPad. That's not acceptable. That's just stupidity. But get rid of the iPads. Let the hitters talk hitting. Let them talk it out. Sorry, Jack. I can agree to disagree with you, but I do like Alex Cora. And I really like Alex Cora not only for veterans, because he probably lets the veterans not being there. He probably lets the veterans run the clubhouse. But the young guys, they have to be held accountable. Behind the scenes, we have no idea what goes on. But Alex Cora, he's got to be the front guy to hold the young guys accountable. And how they finished out this season, hey, I mean, we're hearing Duran should be traded. Casas should be traded. Some of these guys next year going into spring training, you're going to be fighting for jobs based on how you have finished up 2024. And we know there are a lot of position players that are right on the cusp to being big leaguers. And that's something that we continue to stress. Shooting Smoke is going to wrap us up. Shooting Smoke likes Cora too, has to have more to work with. Yeah, they do. They've got decisions to be made. I don't know that the whole bullpen needs to be revamped. Kenley Jansen could walk easily. Curtis Bailey's checking in. Curtis, are we really going to end with you? Curtis, you're checking in here on the Locked On Red Sox postcast, and you're throwing out a "Let's go Yankees." All right, Curtis, we appreciate you checking in with us. Numbers of the night, none of them are pretty. 500 club for the, 20th time this year. Now 62 strikeouts in the last 5 games. 9 grand slams allowed this season. That's a big number. In fact, it's the most in the majors. And you also add to the fact that the Red Sox in 100 opportunities this year with the bases loaded haven't gone yard. 9 grand slams allowed by the Red Sox pitchers this year. Jarren Duran did have a multi-hit game, his second in the last 13 games and just his third in his last 17. And Duran with a 3-hit game as well. Those have been few and far between as well. But Duran, Will Fleming, this is where I'm closing. Will Fleming, Joe Castiglione, Duran, base hit, first inning. Let's see if he runs. Duran entered Friday, no stolen bases in his previous 20. 1 stolen base in his previous 23. He ran, caught stealing. Devers a base hit. Red Sox got nothing in the first. Curtis Bailey, let's go Yankees. We're not closing with that. But Curtis, appreciate your sentiments. Jack Carr is going to wrap us up. I agree he's had little to work with this year, but I also haven't seen him do anything since 2018. Fenway Sports Group to blame the most. You can make an argument for that. We have here. Good manager makes it work with less. He's one more from Jack Carr. Zero excuse for throwing Kelly out there with an ERA over 20 this month. Yeah, absolutely. Again, in that situation, I said, and he was up and throwing, but then he comes in and works the 8th inning. But give the kid a shot. Guerrero, 4-0 was not a high leverage situation. I've got to get out of here. Jack Carr, appreciate you checking in for the first time. Shooting Smoke, always a pleasure. DJ, thank you. Andrew the Goat, thank you. And our Yankee fan, Curtis, also checking in as well. Hey, we're live, day game. Garrett Cole tomorrow. So that means if you're on FanDuel, take Kenley Jansen or take, Rafael Devers to do something offensively against Garrett Cole because he's owned Garrett Cole in his career. We will be live Saturday afternoon with our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. As always, we thank our sponsors, Tonal, Prize Picks, and FanDuel. We do thank you for making the Locked On Red Sox postcast your first listen every day. Free and available wherever you get your podcasts and also on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. We do go live within minutes of the last out of every Red Sox game right here with the Locked On Red Sox postcast. Locked On Sports Boston, number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Red Sox every day.